I know we talked briefly, and this was off, outside of the podcast, but I thought it was very relevant that I saw these numbers here, which is kind of troubling to me. Now, I know I said that CeeDee Lamb is not a number one, and people will argue and say, "Oh, well, the stats say otherwise." Rashid, what are you looking at on Sundays?
Most of what I say, he's their number one.
And I made the argument prior to this game that he is an excellent slot receiver. I think you and I both agreed on that. And he lined up in the slot. I don't know. I don't have the snap count, but I'm just gonna break this down. He played 32 snaps in the slot, right? Against this is just against Eli Ricks, an undrafted free agent. He uh he got 72 yards on 4 passes allowed. He lined up 15 plays against Kevin Byard. 15 plays in the slot. He only got 3 receptions, but it was 3 huge receptions that went for 71 yards
I was gonna
total.
say I don't remember much from the Eagles that Eagles game to be honest with you, except for some Cowboys plays. But it felt like Kevin Byard was getting cooked every time I saw him.
He also lined up 13 times against in the slot against Sidney Brown. He went 4 for 4 for 50 yards. Now here's where it gets interesting. He lined up in a slot 4 times against Big Play Slay and has a grand total of 13 yards. And see, this is where I make the comment about CeeDee Lamb is that big players make big plays, and it doesn't matter who's following you around. When the Eagles finally wisened up and said, "Hey, we're going to take our best guy and put it on your best guy," he he caught nothing, and then he got a big play at the end of the game, which I guess went for about 30 yards, and he fumbled. I heard a bunch of people lost money because they didn't credit him for that fumble. It's like that on FanDuel. So a bunch of people was mad about that. But needless to say, big players make big plays. And while guys like AJ Brown didn't go off, he wasn't moving all around hiding in the slot. And I just don't think that in my mind you're number one if you have to make all. Hey, call yourself a number two slot receiver. You're the best slot receiver in the game. Julian Edelman killed people for many years out of the slot. I have nothing against a slot receiver, but don't come and say I deserve number one, true number one money when you're playing like a number two and you're not matching up against equal talent. I rest my case.
And like I said when we were talking, I mean he's their number one. He's gonna be their number one. You say what you want. They're not gonna find too many people that are better than CeeDee Lamb, right? Even if you don't think he's a number one, there's not too many people that are better than him, and there's not too many number one receivers in this league.
There's not too many people better than him out of the slot. I mean, granted, provided his size, he's a pretty shifty dude. I saw a play where when the play broke down and he was matched up against Eli Ricks, and he turned and he broke to the sideline and was able to break down and catch that ball. And I was thinking to myself, "Whoa, this guy is good. He has great hands." But Michael Irvin loves to talk about him, and I said, "Hey, this kid is not a Michael Irvin."
Well, I don't
And
think he's a
that's
Michael Irvin. I think a different skill set.
absolutely. And he's a slot receiver. And it's okay. Hey, slot receivers in my mind is some of the most important positions on the field. But if you're gonna be a slot receiver and you're gonna just put up these ridiculous numbers, um, then go for it. Hey, wear it proudly. And what's the kid name that for the Rams that plays out of the slot? He lines up everywhere, but he motions a lot, goes into the slot and runs a bunch of option routes. What is his
Two.
name?
Not
Puka?
Puka, is it?
Thank you, Batwell.
Not Puka. Puka lines up on the
Cooper?
outside. Yes, Cooper.
I'm pretty sure Puka lands in the slot too. To be honest with you,
Well,
I think that's
Oh,
just their
well,
system. I think that's just their system.
right.
Hmm.
But them option routes are dangerous.
Well, I don't know. Again with CD, I think I do agree. I don't know if I agree he's a slot receiver because I think he can win on the outside versus certain corners. Slay is one of the best corners in the league. So let's not get that twisted. Even with him being up there in age, he is still one of the best corners in the league. So it's gonna be hard to beat one of the best corners in the league. And you're not getting tested. You're not getting thrown to that much. You said he got thrown to 4 attempts for 13 yards. That's not very good. But I'm not here to debate I'm not here to debate Ceedee being one of the top 15 receivers in the league. We had this conversation off screen.
Look, Bradbury's a bum.
He is.
That dude gets cooked on go routes by everybody. I'm sorry if I'm Ceedee. I'm saying, hey, listen. You know what? Des Bryant used to do this, and it used to irritate my life. He pull up to the line. He see a guy that he knows he can beat one-on-one. He point at Tony Romo. They both know what it meant. What do they do? Or whatever that thing is. And, you see the dude run down the field, and he didn't always run by him, but he was darn sure about to hang one on top of his neck. And
different skill set again, though. Different skill set. That's got a different skill set than Ceedee. Ceedee is not a go up and get it type guy. He ain't. He uses his shiftiness. He uses shiftiness a lot.
Isn't he a bigger guy than Des Bryant? I mean, sorry, as far as height.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I thought wasn't Des Bryant like 6'3"?
They're same height, I think.
I thought he was about 6
I
foot.
heard Ceedee's like 6'2".
No, Des was not 6 foot. Des was definitely 6'2", 6'3". But Ceedee might be 6'2" as well. I think they're probably about the same size.
I know Ceedee's about 6'2", which is why I'm surprised that he doesn't want to play on the outside.
He's never been a go up and get it type guy though.
All right, that's fair.
Des was 6'2". Ceedee Lamb is I think also 6'2". But he's a much thinner 6'2". No, Ceedee is 6'2" as well. So, but Ceedee's a much thinner 6'2". He's never been a guy to go up and get it and moss your best dude. He's more of a route runner, which is why he uses his shiftiness to his advantage. Which is why you probably don't see him as number one, because I think we all have different ideas of number one guys. I don't think he's a number one on certain teams like the Dolphins. He's not number one on the Eagles. But I think for his team, he's going to be the number one for them, and they're going to find a way to get him the ball. Regardless if it's in the slot. Primarily in the slot, but that's where they usually... I mean, they put him at running back in that Eagles game, and he cooked some linebackers. So, I mean, they're just trying to find a way to get him the ball. That's all it is.